Between Ourselves, Part 9. Today is Thursday, the 28th of January, and it's 2010. I'm in the Red Raven. The Return of the Madman, Harry. I had my walk to the lake. I had some whiskey from my flask. I am a fighter, a warrior of some fucking kind, a spiritual warrior. I put down the truth of the moment each and every fucking moment. Do you know how difficult that is? It's fucking difficult. I am bombarded by enemies, left, right, and center. I go on alone. Fuck them all. I know I talk for someone. I talk of something special. I try to be precise and not waste a word. Perhaps these words do not come from me at all. Fuck you. It fucking does come from you. I fight. I am a fighter for the spirit. They keep taking stabs at my mental situation. They keep trying to destroy me. But right now, at this moment, I am very strong in mind and spirit, and therefore also in body. It is not very often I can write about the brilliant ascendancy of the spirit, the rising. I feel good now, and want to tell you about the rising of the spirit, the good stuff. We are in charge now, in control of this particular moment. I have wrestled control from the powers that be, and for once in the dialogue I am in charge of the all. How about that? Ha! I am in charge of the all, and enjoying my moment in time. I am, of course, a little drunk. Earlier today I walked to the lake with my flask of Tullamore Dew. I listened to Pink Floyd, Mike Oldfield, Scott Walker, and more. As I returned from the lake, the sun went down and a big full moon came up. What a walk it was. Powerful. Now, I am here in my bar, drinking my third pint of Guinness with my flask of Tullamore Dew in my pocket, and I feel good. My friend, how are you today? God bless you all. Higher power blessings to you all. I guess all that anyone can really do is wait. We all wait. We wait. We think, learn, and try to understand our situation. We wait for the time when all our waiting will have proved absolutely brilliant. We wait for a time when all our waiting will be proved to be absolutely the correct thing to do. We are like plants. We only blossom when we are ready. Hello, my friend. How are you? We have known each other for such a long time. How are you? I am good. Well, there we go. The conversation continues and the battle, it commences. I am the physical representation of the spirit. I wish you the best. Be happy at all times, and if you can't be happy at all times, then make sure that you put aside a little bit of time for yourself. The 30th of January, Saturday, the Red Raven. I was quite drunk by the end of Thursday evening. I drank 4 pints of Guinness plus some Tullamore Dew. I sat in the main area with the other customers, while writing, and by all accounts I was well behaved. A client told my wife that I was very, very focused on writing in my notebook. I did not interact very much with anyone. which was probably a good thing. I just said hello and goodbye to the clients. Well, we have been here about 6 months now in this bar, this little restaurant of ours. And I think back on the stress and strain of starting a new business, even if my wife was the one who sorted out most of the paperwork. But I realize I could have been more detached, and I would still have arrived here at this point. We can be detached and still get things done. The 31st of January 2010. Since beginning this business on the 4th of the 7th, 2009, Independence Day, we have been open each day except Monday for business. We are currently living in the house across the road, and because we are trying to resurrect a failing business, we decided to open each day as long as possible, which means from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Some days I am here alone from 2 to 6. Other days my wife is here alone from 2 to 6. My wife works alone in the kitchen, and I am still in the front of the house, dealing with the clients. But I think we'll change places pretty soon, as I am not doing too well. I am having communication problems. And lately, I am beginning to think that we should close more often, as we are both getting pretty depressed. We seem to spend all our time either here or at home sleeping. The other thing is that there are hardly any customers between the hours of 2 and 6. This is a small village in the south of France, and the people here have their habits. Nobody eats or goes to a bar in the afternoon. The only person that drinks in the afternoon here is me. I am drinking half pints of Guinness continually each afternoon and most evenings, and it is not having a good effect on my state of mind. Anyway, my wife and I are talking about closing in the afternoons from 2 to 6. I think the sooner the better. Today is the 2nd of February 2010, and I am in the Red Raven. Today is busy. It is now 9 p.m., and I am waiting on a table of 10. I want to check to see if they have finished their dinner and would like to order dessert, but I don't want to rush them. I get so stressed about things like that, but I do not think it shows. At least, my wife said I don't look stressed. On the inside and in my mind, I'm always jumping to the next thing. I am always in a hurry and unrelaxed, especially during these busy evenings, but ironically, on the outside and when viewed by customers that do not know me, I may come across as being very lethargic, as if I were very much at ease, when in actual fact the opposite is the case. I wonder how common it is that a person's inner dynamic is the exact opposite of their outer dynamic. Tuesday, the 9th of February, 9:45 p.m., the Red Raven. Busy evening. 16 people here, and I have to deal with all of them while my wife cooks. I have been drinking halves of Carlsberg all afternoon, and I feel good. Not sober, but not too drunk. In order to do this job, I just need a daily balance of alcohol, like medicine. I need a certain number of halves or shorts to get me in the fucking realm. The spirit realm. I have to get there, whatever it takes. You just need to know when to stop, when you have had enough medicine. And for me, that's the tricky part. Thursday, the 11th of February, 9:30 a.m. I am waiting the delivery of 2 small barrels of Guinness and Carlsberg. I feel happy today. Happy with the bar and my life here at present. It is easy to think that things are worse than they are, but sometimes one should appreciate the good things. I'm looking forward to the coming of the summer months. a deep relaxation, and a disengagement from the invisible, unimportant stuff. The illusions, the obstacles. The surplus stuff is not as important as all that. The peace is the thing, and that peace comes from within. 1:50 p.m. Today will be a long day, but I still feel good. It is snowing outside, and Slim Whitman is singing Rosemary on our music system. I am sipping a pint of Guinness. Today feels special. The work in the field continues. The difficulty with alcohol is that each session is different. And there is that kind of holy grail of drinking, when everything is magic and good. But it is also difficult to get that perfect click, that perfect aesthetic feeling with alcohol. I guess it depends on so many things. For example, sleep, or the person's state of mind, what the person has eaten. Lots of things within make the effect different. I have had quite a lot of great moments because of alcohol, but normally it is after the second pint, not the fourth, not the fifth, because after too much there is no memory, and if there is, well, it will always certainly be a bad one. I sometimes drink on an empty stomach in order to get high as quickly as possible. It is still snowing outside, but I feel very peaceful inside. Today is a day of many spheres. I feel quite good after 2 pints of Guinness. But is it the beer or me? As I felt quite good before I started drinking this morning, it would be sad if I gave all the praise continually to alcohol for my state of mind, when perhaps I had actually made myself high simply by my writing and thinking in a positive way. Anyway, now I know I should stop, as it's 3 p.m. and I have already finished 3 pints of Guinness. I may continue in the evening, but now I stop. My wife arrived a few moments ago to check up on me. I just managed to get the glass cleaned up before she saw it. Now I feel myself going down in mood. It's 3:30 p.m. and I feel the need to carry on drinking. I sure ask for a lot. Perfect continual peace and harmony within and without. And that's a lot. But I will not compromise. I am a fighter of the spirit. I have a function. I feel like Robert Ryan in a Western movie. 4 p.m. I am drinking pint number 4, and I am wondering where this day will go. Roger Whittaker on the tape deck. Mammy Blue. I feel my spirit rising. Now I am listening to Mike Oldfield. Platinum. And as I do so, I find myself thinking about the high spirit of the intoxicated person. It is very important to distinguish between the person, that is the host, and the spirit. The spirit will make the host do all kinds of things, but the host will be completely unaware of what it is doing. So don't judge a person by the way he or she appears or their actions, especially after 5 pints. Listen to their words carefully. That's important. I gave my order. Take them out. I gave my order in a loud, screaming voice as a commander. Did we win? I shall tell you later. 5 p.m. Did we win? Great question. I am drunk. Love, love, love. It is difficult now. My mind is coming apart. When you enter, you change the energy. All I can say is help me, help yourself. Help yourself and don't go down, go up. Saturday the 13th of February, the Red Raven. Well, I carried on drinking yesterday and we had to close early, 8 p.m. I think. We had 2 customers at the bar that evening, and they had quite a few drinks on the house. I think I am getting the flu. I can feel it. Eyes, nose and throat. France is beating Ireland in the rugby today. I guess I will hear all about it tonight from the clients. I feel slightly paranoid this evening, and the temptation is once again great. Sunday, the 14th of February, 7 p.m. The night I met Steve McQueen. I was standing on the small street at the back of our establishment where our kitchen is located, and across the road is the house we are currently living in, although hopefully we will soon be moving to a new place a few miles outside the village. The house we have been living in for the past 6 months is right across from the back of our bar restaurant, but it is a damp place and does not see much sunlight, which is ridiculous when one is living in the south of France. That's one of the reasons why we were hoping to move to a new place outside the village. The new apartment is south-facing and will therefore receive plenty of sunlight. It is located in a converted farmhouse and surrounded by crops of wheat. We can't wait to move. Anyway, as I stood outside earlier smoking a cigarette, I was contemplating having another drink, and then I saw a famous 1960s actor walking up the street to where I was standing, and he said to me, "That's as high as it gets." And at that moment I felt the click in my head and everything seemed great. He looked me in the eye and smiled quickly before walking away. I realized this phantom actor was right. I was at the high point. It had taken 2 pints, and no matter how much more I drank that evening, that high point would never be reached again. There was no discussion with this actor. He just stated the fact and then carried on walking up the street away from me. He was wearing a brown trench coat, and he had both his hands in his trouser pockets. He seemed to be looking at the ground in front of him as he walked slowly up the street. I imagined he had many more visits to make that night. Lots of people all over the place with the same problem as I, who were also fans and would listen to him. There was a strange strength in that moment. Thursday, 7 p.m. To be a medium of the Great Spirit and let it work through you in the field. To change in temperament because the Spirit is working through you. To turn away from the world and be a true contemplative. To trample down all bad thoughts, to cancel all bad and evil feelings, to have eyes and ears only for the Great Spirit that permeates everything, but which we don't feel because we are surrounded by garbage. Radio garbage in our heads, bad thoughts swimming around. Let the fight begin. Saturday, the 20th of February, 5:45 p.m. Today, I was rereading earlier stuff. Something from the 18th of the 10th, 2009, after my first visit to the lake. Anyway, I came to the conclusion, after a bad drinking episode, that I simply had to stop drinking because I had a tendency to go mad, and I shouldn't trust my thoughts and feelings anymore. I am misprogrammed. Of course, that puts a person in a strange place, unknown territory. The idea of retiring comes to mind again. Disengaged action. One must somehow ignore oneself and rebuild. I guess one could keep his thought on the cloud of unknowing between him and the Great Spirit, a healthy ignorance and an attempt to shoot down and cancel all the thoughts that arise in the mind like muck or sin to distract and beat you down. That battle with bad thinking is endless and very human. It is possible to turn your back on all this world of worry and wasted thoughts and live by a new plan. It fits, if in any event, I can't really trust my thoughts, feelings, and personality. I sometimes don't seem to be working in my best interests. For example, health, happiness. I am being misrepresented by the spirit of bad thoughts, and the sin of doubts, and the sin of faults. Thousands of them every day, like enemies attacking me. One needs to take every motherfucking one of them out and stamp them underfoot. Monday, the 22nd of February, 5 p.m. If you don't trust yourself, then how the hell can you do anything? Well, I think you simply keep a healthy ignorance, or make sure that all negativity is ground down underfoot. Any thought, feeling, situation, people, in fact any internal reaction that causes any stress needs to be cancelled. Be in control of your internal thinking and reactions. If we retire and become mediums, we will change. We will become free spirits, free from self-torture, free inside. If we leave ourselves alone, then we are at one. We do not judge anyone anymore, and we do not project our fear, anxiety, or suspicion onto anyone. Instead, we project a positive energy to one and all. Perhaps a fight like this needs to be begun anew every single day, and then one day at a time. Tuesday, 22nd of February, 6:50 p.m. Earlier today, my wife showed me an old photograph of myself. The photo was taken 4 years ago. She said how much I'd changed, gotten older. I was angry. I stormed off. When I returned, she reminded me that on several occasions when I was drunk, I had said very bad things to her. A minor scuffle. I wonder, am I improving? Or is it still just a question of when, instead of if, I go mad again? We have started moving lots of stuff to our new apartment in the countryside. Lots of car trips. But the process is not stressful. There is some distance between my wife and I at the moment, but perhaps this is normal. I guess in all couples, at times, there is a little distance, a lack of passion in the same things, a lack of a conversation equally engaging to both, a lack of a twin vision for the future, and a growing realization that a lot of my passions are not shared by her, even though there was a time I thought that there were, and vice versa. She must feel the same about her passions and my interest levels. Anyway, what do you compare it to? I'm sure it's quite normal. Each day is a unit, and each day must be dealt with on its own terms. March the 1st, Monday, moving day. We will spend our first night in our new apartment. I am glad all the moving is over, and I hope this new sunny environment will be the beginning of better things for me and my wife. Wednesday, March 3. The new apartment is lovely, peaceful and full of light. It will be good to spend our days off there, just relaxing in the sun. We had some god-awful dogs eating here on Sunday at about 8 p.m. One of our regular customers with 3 friends. One was a loudmouth, ignorant, a drunken middle-aged guy. Another was an ugly, old, miserable woman. And the other guy was drunk and kept banging the table and whistling. As ugly a drunk as you could get. They treated me like a dog. They made a mess. They tried to smoke inside. It disturbed me a lot. I do not seem to be able to put up with drunk people when I am sober, which is ironic, given the fact that I'm often drunk myself. Things are bad between me and my wife today. She changed the music I was playing and I went ballistic. I even surprised myself, getting so angry so quickly at so little. I said to her, "We need more time apart or we'll kill each other." She said I was being dramatic, but then she said she sometimes wonders why we ever got married in the first place, and what we ever saw in each other. I think the white elephant has moved in with us on a permanent basis. Thursday, March the 4th. Just a little note on the previous entry. It is strange how, when you are totally comfortable with someone, i.e. your wife or your husband, how easy it is to project your bad moments onto them. When we first met back in September 2002, I was very polite. I would never have said any of the things that I have said to her lately. You surely can destroy the thing you love most if you're not careful, if you are not humble, and always ready to apologize. You also need to learn how to listen to each other. Because of the guilt I feel now, and as I am alone in the bar, I am, of course, tempted to drink. I feel tense and anxious, but I know it's too early. It's only 5 p.m. If I started now, I would probably be reasonably drunk by 8. 7 p.m. on the same day, I've managed to abstain from drinking today. It has been a turbulent few months, but our new apartment is very cool and relaxing with a great view, and we are both very happy when we are there. March 6th, Saturday. I have toothache today, hooray! Hooray, hurrah! I was quite drunk yesterday, and I walked all the way back to our apartment after closing. The walk back took around 45 minutes, but I feel pretty crap today. I feel numb. I have to note the thoughts, that's all. I have to just put myself on autopilot. I am drifting through the day, and that is all. 9 p.m. same day. What an epic day this is. So far we have made 0, and our first 2 customers have just arrived. It could be the worst Saturday on record for our little restaurant. I'm feeling very fragile and vulnerable, and I hope the dogs don't visit us tonight. I felt quite fucked up all day long. I guess I drank more than I thought I did last night. There has got to be a way that I can drag myself out of this state of mind. I must surrender. Don't think. Let it flow. Work on another level. Free level. A flowing level. Right now I feel a sense of doom and a feeling of shame at the way I have hurt myself by drinking too much, too long. It is now 9:50 p.m. and I hope to God that no one else arrives tonight. Every down has got to have its up, and I'm looking forward to mine. It is now nearly 10 p.m. What a long day. Shit. 2 young guys have arrived for a pint and some chips. It's now 10:30 p.m. It's my bad time. Who's coming next? Hold the line. Hold the line. I'm so fed up with evenings like this. This fucking crap. This scared feeling. This unnatural wanting to be someplace else. I'm fucking tired of it. I can go so high and then I go so low. Anyway, it'll pass. It always does, and soon we will be driving home to our new apartment. I will sleep. I will feel better tomorrow. Thank God. Everyone has now left. It's closing time. I was never so happy to see the back of this fucking place for one day. March 14th, Sunday. Yesterday evening was a bit of a disaster. At 10 p.m. 5 people arrived, but the restaurant was full. The 5 people told me that they had booked a table a few days earlier. They were very annoyed as their booking had got lost somehow. Well, I was probably drunk when I took it. I had to call my wife from the kitchen so that she could sort out the situation. She took the 5 people to the bar, gave them a free aperitif, while they waited for a table to become free. Now, some of the other tables had heard what was going on, and the fact that the 5 people were waiting for someone to leave. But, and I have noticed this on more than one occasion, instead of being helpful, people tend to stay a lot longer than one feels they would if no one was waiting for a table to become free. 3 different couples at 3 different tables were finishing their coffee after their meals when the table of 5 arrived, but even after 30 minutes not one had budged. I had become very annoyed and was close to going up to one of these tables and asking them politely if they wouldn't mind hurrying the fuck up and leaving, but my wife managed to calm me down, and eventually people did leave and the angry table of 5 were served. Needless to say, the table of 5 were in absolutely no hurry to leave. It was a very long evening. It is now 5 p.m. and I am really struggling. I have decided to have a pint in order to break the deadlock in my mind. I am trying to salvage what I can from today. I am listening to the Waterboys and Thin Lizzy and remembering some good times I had in various bars in Ealing Broadway when I lived in London. I am aware of the danger of drinking at this time of the day. I am trying to be careful. 6:30 p.m. Going mad. Here's Harry. I have drank 3 pints of Carlsberg rather quickly. God, I hope I don't end this day, the 14th of the 3rd, 2010, by going mad and causing trouble for my wife. I want to be free. The music I am listening to is powerful. I must think of tomorrow and the damage. Am I ready for death? Scaremongers. Anyway, they say when you drink you let the spirits talk. The angels and the demons. Oh boy, it would seem the little demons have won today. I demand some mental equilibrium between both states. We only have one body and we must all work together. I have a customer. The atmosphere here must be fantastic now. I am drinking pint number 5, and that is bad. I don't know what you would do. The you is me, and I don't know how I will act in the world or react to normal situations after 5 pints. There is one customer at the bar. What should I do? I will sit here, and if he wants something, or if he wants to pay, surely he can ask. I'm listening to the Sex Pistols now. Oh God. I have retired from the game. I have no connections to it anymore. I am a medium. I am a medium. I have a panoramic view. 7 p.m. Normally, everything goes wrong at 8 p.m. because that's when the dogs arrive. But tonight, I will bite back. I will talk anyway. I am in charge now. I'm listening to The Great Escape by Elmer Bernstein, and before that Scott Walker's album Tilt. I believe in this state I could actually put my psychological cures to the test. I am in charge now. I control now. Thursday, 18th of March, 3:15 p.m. The aftermath of Sunday night. Sunday ended in a complete blackout. My wife served some customers in the evening and then closed up shop early. She drove to our new apartment and left me to it in the bar. She wanted me to stop drinking, but I couldn't. I couldn't. I said I was okay walking home. It's a nice 45-minute walk in the countryside. I don't even remember talking to my wife, but at some time later that evening, I smashed the place up. I overturned every chair and every table. I smashed the laptop with all our music on it. I broke our Visa machine. I smashed our telephone. I smashed lots of glasses. I smashed the plates. I've absolutely no recollection of any of this. My last memory is feeling enraged because I thought someone had stolen my bag with all my stuff in it. Actually, my wife had taken my bag so that I wouldn't lose it on the way home. And she told me this as she was leaving the pub that evening. But I had obviously forgotten. I must have acted like a demon in our restaurant. Did I make lots of noise? Did anyone see me? When did I leave? What happened to the half bottle of whiskey on the counter? What did I do with that? And how did I get home? I have no memory of getting home. I have no memory of leaving the bar. Did I meet anyone on the way home? Was I noisy? Does anyone know how insane I am? A worse blackout than this, I cannot remember. Imagine having to wait for such a madman to return home ranting and raving. Imagine what my wife had to go through. Where to go from here? Does writing about it help at all? There seems little point in trying to remember the incident. The plan never seems to work. A medium of overwhelming forces, especially when intoxicated and drinking spirits. I cannot fly anymore. I have become dangerous to myself and others. How will I remember that? The storm has passed for now, but it will return. It is strange, but I have a certain calmness now, the calm after the storm. I need some kind of equilibrium between the different states of myself. Strong and weak, drunk and sober, introvert and extrovert, and Harry the madman, and me. That high state is so tempting, it calls me even now, just a few days after my last explosion. It calls me still. It can soothe and calm, but I wasn't meant for that. I have to be this. I have to be this. I have to be this, here and now. There is no high country for me now, no cures. April the 3rd, Saturday, 3 p.m. I was thinking of my last big blackout, and also the kind of peace I experienced the week following the blackout. I was happy to stay put in my house for the whole week, just looking out at nature. I wanted to hide from the whole world. I wanted to hide from everyone. I wouldn't mind that kind of contentedness more often, obviously without the prior circumstances. At such times one can feel the healing power of nature. April 12th, Monday, 7 p.m. My wife has gone to her parents for 2 days and I am alone in the bar. I'm drinking a pint of Guinness. I ate a big meal earlier and I'm drinking lots of water with the Guinness. How will this evening go? I have access to all the alcohol I want and no one to stop me. However, I'm being very careful. No more blackouts. Last week we decided to close each afternoon from 2:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. Thank God, as there are hardly any customers during these hours. We have both been in very good form over the last 2 weeks. The one good thing about my last drunken explosion was the fact that my wife was not present, and I managed to clean most of the mess up before she arrived. She was obviously very pissed off about the laptop and the other damage, but I am very relieved she didn't see me like that. She decided after the falling off the stool incident not to drink with me anymore in the bar. We do sometimes share a bottle of wine while watching a DVD. By the time I arrived home that night, I was already half asleep, and so she was spared the madman. She told me I simply walked in and went straight to bed, and that there was no incident. I guess I was burnt out. It is 7:30 p.m. and I am on my second pint of Guinness. I just changed the barrel of Guinness. It is now fresh. The novelty of Guinness on draft has not quite worn off yet, even after 9 months. I'm listening to Neil Young, Like a Hurricane. It is still light outside, but I have brought a torch as I will be walking home in darkness. I was drunk again last Sunday. That evening began like this, like now. Me drinking pints and writing lines, and yet I don't remember very much after 8 p.m. Right now I feel it would be impossible not to remember this evening. Last Sunday my wife arrived and I said I could go home and she would take over. But I said no. I said she need not take over. I'll be okay. I said I wanted to stay and drink in my bar, like Rockefeller. And I don't remember much more after that. I don't remember people arriving, just snapshots of moments. Little 1-minute films or less of certain scenes during the evening. It's strange. I guess I kept drinking glasses of Guinness throughout the evening. I remember one client wearing a big cowboy hat, and the fact that he was happy because I was playing country and western songs for him, and I was singing along, apparently. How embarrassing. Anyway, back to the present. I'm having a cigarette inside the bar. I guess there is a certain pleasure in doing something you're not really supposed to. This third pint is getting to me, and I find myself reminiscing about old times in Ireland. I'm listening to Lou Reed, the tape New Sensations. I've had this tape since I don't know when, and I now feel high. Life has a certain fairy tale quality to it right now. You could call it peak time, but I know it's artificial. I know it's just the drink, the Guinness. I would love to be able to get to this state without drinking alcohol. 9:40 p.m. Well, I am quite drunk now. I finished 5 pints. I'm listening to Marty Robbins. I have a camera and I'm filming this moment in time. This moment at 10 p.m. Am I the madman yet? I am now drinking pint number 6, and I'm listening to Frankie Lane. And I feel something changed. After finishing my 6th pint, my mood dropped. And I now realize that alcohol is crap. It's not good. I feel bad. There's no point to this. There is no destination to drinking. I have drank 6 pints and I feel terrible. Now I have to walk all the fucking way home. Drinking tonight has been a complete waste of time. I felt the same before as I do now. Power to the sober man. When I get home, I will not continue to drink, as it has given me nothing today. I guess I ate too much. The 22nd of April, Thursday, 12 p.m. in the Red Raven. High spirits. Something's going wrong in society. You chew your fingers and stare at the floor. None of them received a hero's welcome. None of them. None of them. What's my job? My real job? Listening to Bowie and some other stuff from the 80s. What is a real individual? I fight for my total, true freedom. Our minds wander so much. Focus, that's the stuff, Chief. Focus, Chief. That's all you have to do. Focus. I'm worth a lot more than that. Alive or dead, it's your choice.